also, Bunny's Vengeance is only in as a reserve. So who are the contenders going to be? Well, Max World is up there, of course. Syme once again, and Swanton. Could this be Senna's year? Could this be Senna's season after winning the last race on the previous game in Season 8? Can Joker find the consistency? He's in the Pro-Ams this season. Colin stepping back up to the top.
Did Georgie say he's doing the race later?
Yes, I believe he did. Craggy apparently needs an invite. Let's see if I've got him actually. There you go. Georgie is indeed doing the race later, Meg, unless he's going to piss me off by pulling out late. He is checked in. There's Craggy in there as well. He's another contender returning to DRS this year, this season. Anyone, if you do get disconnected, make sure you've got me added, because obviously Smug is racing. So if you do get disconnected and I see it, please then I'll try to get you back in, or please comment in one of the chats. I'll try and keep an eye on those as well, if you need to get back in.
Last week I predict first corner Wreckfest again, lol.
First corner Wreckfest, says Magnatex. Not so much in this league, maybe in ours, but hopefully not. It's a bit better at Singapore. Well, it's a bit better than the open lobby madness we had at the weekend. But we shall see. I mean, we managed a whole 100% race with only one incident reported and only one DNF last week. So, personally, I think we've got a good group and people will know to be sensible.
Swanson 9, let's go.
Good evening to Bazza in the chat, cheering on Swanton. Rather than Senna, which is quite funny. Do bear with me, folks. I will need to double check the Pro and Pro-Ams lineups, as there have been some changes. The Smug and Colin going back up to the Pros. Do try to keep you up to date with both races. 18 drivers on the grid. Let's see who's missing. We're missing a McLaren. And we are also missing a V-Carb. Who's going to be first on their way out? Looks like Max. Possibly. There he goes. Two potential title protagonists. The first one's out onto the track. Max World and Craggy. There's an Aston Martin as well. That's probably Colin. It is indeed Colin. TMK as well. He's on his way out. And Sainsy. In the deeper blue.
Who goes Hamilton? Rolling on the floor laughing, rolling on the floor laughing.
Yes, Lewis, 9 times a winner at Silverstone. broke the record yesterday. His first win in quite a while. Max, of course, still on track for the World Championship. That's Max Verstappen rather than our very own Max, who's here warming up his kick Sauber. Of course, he will be among the favourites for this season, but anything can happen in DRS, as you know.
I read that he's been given a fine for speeding the pits.
Interesting. So we will start with Max World on this first hot lap of the session. Craggy starting his just behind. As always, let us know in the chat your thoughts on this new season. Who are you looking out for? Is it going to be Max and Craggy? Are the old guard of Syme and Swanton going to be right up there? Or does someone new emerge from the pack? Is there going to be a huge difference from the 23 to 24 game? Is someone going to emerge from the field as a sudden new contender? Let us know your thoughts in the chat as always. Let us know who you're cheering on, even if it's just because you like their name. Maxwell 127.3 starts us off. Let's see how Craggy follows that. $126.8 for Craggy. Those first two lap times are going to be very difficult to beat. TMK 129.3, Colin 128.0. This is the circuit where I'd struggle to get a 130, so very good times. Sainsy 131, he'll want to improve there. Sloth starting his lap. The new look HP Ferrari. Rouge Nico is there with a 128.5. P4 for the Haas. 50, a 130.4. An Easy Life, 132.0. Senna there with a 131.6. So a real spread of times on their opening laps. Max back round to the pit lane. Comes Sloth through the final chicane. And the last corner, and it's a 130.3 for Sloth. Goes to P8. Sainsy improved to a 129.7. Just behind Mr. Pickle. There's also a 129.7 now in a Red Bull. And now in the Pro-Ams as well. So Rouge Nico heads the Pro-Ams at the moment. He's back into the pit lane. Senna does a 127.6. And that's up to P3 for the Williams. Skippy, his teammate, is on his way out. Seems to always be in Williams. Of course, a nice mix-up this season. King Kong and Speedy Bullet, both in the Alpines, both streaming as well. But yet to join us, Syme on an outlap. He's now in Mercedes. Joker and Smug tend to leave it late in these qualifying sessions. I will just do my homework and double check the driver lineups to make sure I get them right. If they are anywhere that I can find them on the Discord. I'm sure they were put somewhere, but I cannot see where they are. Someone tell me where they are, please. Okay, it's just the Haas pairing that I've got to double check. There's Nico and TMK. Other than that, I think I'm pretty clear. Season 9 don't appear to have it here, unfortunately. Syme there, 128.2 goes to P7. Mr. Pickle has improved, the 128.0 for him. Behind the Sloth with a 128.0 as well. Swanton's doing his double outlap, I think. I'm still looking in the Discord for the right thing here. Driver's numbers. Not sure. It was on Twitch. But then it hasn't appeared to have been posted in the right place for me to double check. So we'll just have to make the best of it with me guessing. Max and Craggy are back out, and it's a 127.0 for Max. Still not getting to Craggy. Speedy and Joker are now out on track as well. King Kong a 128.2 just behind Syme. And Craggy is off back into the pits. Kong is down on his time. Skippy will check as he comes to the sector 2 line now. He is down on his time. Swanton is going to be up on his. Swanson coming through, and it's not going to be a great time for him. In fact, it's down. So still in 16th is Swanson with a 1:31 at the moment. A good 4 odd seconds off the pace. Joker has returned to the pits without setting a time, and Smug has remained there. Easy Life cruising round. Let's see if Swanson is actually going to go on this lap, or if he's just going back into the pits. 5 minutes or so left in the session. And we'll see his time after Maggots and Beckett's. He's now up on his time by a good couple of seconds. So he will be climbing up the order. We'll see by how much very shortly. $1:27.7 for Swanson, and that is P4. Collins showing close to his time. TMK's improved there to P8, the 1:28.0. Mr. Pickle has left the session, so I'll just try and get him back. There you go, Mr. Pickle. An invite is there for you. Al Newt's in the chat. Where are you, Mr. Newt? Why are you not here? Collins coming back in. Senna up on his time as he comes into Sector 3 and does improve. He's still P3, 1:27.4. Good pace shown by Senna. Swanson and Sloth now both in the top 6, and Sloth improving. So currently P6 and possibly climbing here. There's the Sloth on a good opening showing for Ferrari. Mr. Pickle is back. Possibly just in time to get out there again. Sloth, 1:27.9, stays P6. Improved the time a little, but not the position at the moment. Smug is on an out lap, and Joker is starting a hot lap, but did encounter a lot of traffic in the first sector. Craggy's opening salvo, 1:26.8, is still the benchmark with 2 minutes or so to go. Okay. Our Newt is on childcare duty as he was away the weekend. Fair play. Looks like a seat has just come up for Blobby Monday tonight. So, one more reserve spot is available. Here comes Joker. 1:28.7 for him and P12. Let's see Smug. As he's doing a one-shot quali again. He's done this a few times and absolutely nailed it. King Kong is right up to 4th.
Orion in if he isn't already.
Both Orions are in. They're permanent seat holders. Orion Lemons is Williams and Orion Imrie is Aston Martin. They're both in. Piastri Goat is in Ferrari. And we have now one more Kick Sauber reserve seat. So I will work that out at the conclusion of this race. Seconds left on the clock now. Smug's got to get this right.
Orion Imrie, I race with him in 2 Franks on Thursdays.
Yep, he's in as Aston Martin. After the other Aston Martin guy didn't turn up last week and said he was. So anyway, here comes Smug to the line. Where's he going to go? He's going to go P6, 127.7. Now let's try and catch them as they cross the line. Next over is going to be Ruzhniko. That's a 127.9 for P11. Skippy has gone over. TMK is well down on his time. Collins close to his. As 2 cars disappear into the pit lane. Next round will be Max. Let's see where Colin ends up. 127.4 for Colin and P4. Here's Max. Is he going to take the pole from Craggy? Yes, he is. And that is Craggy going into the pits. So Max has got the pole. Max has got the pole unless Swanton can pull something out of the bag. He cannot. Mr. Pickle improves to P8, but it's not enough to trouble the front runners. Maxwell takes pole in the Kick Sauber, 126.5. Craggy is P2. Then it's Senna and Colin from King Kong, Swanton, Smug, and Mr. Pickle, I believe, is the highest of the Pro-Ams. I believe Speedy Bullet is the Alpine Pro-Am and King Kong is the Pro this season. I hope that's right. In my defence on that one, folks, it wasn't on the Discord where I thought it would be, so the driver lineup. So there you go, Max Weld on pole from Craggy. These two, we said they'd be the title contenders, and so it shows. Good showing from Senna in P3, Colin P4, King Kong in 5 from Swanton. Then the Red Bull pairing of Smug and Mr. Pickle. Syme and TMK rounding off the top 10. So we will see the pit wall for a little while as the drivers, I should say, get their strategies and fuel loads sorted out. Normally I'd bring you the standings, but of course there aren't any. I will just put a message in for later on as Squid is out at Reserves. So there we go. We have no standings, of course, as it's the opening race of the season. I'll take you through the tyre selections on the formation lap. And just one reserve seat available for tonight. Squid, unfortunately, unable to race. Otherwise, we'll have 19 on the grid in Singapore, where, of course, everyone scores points if they finish. Slightly different approach this season to point scoring, as we felt those regularly finishing in 11th or below deserve some recognition and some points for their efforts. Please don't take the orange shirt as any support for the Dutch on Wednesday. I'm sure Noodles will be in a minute to tell me about that. As we await the ready up signal and the formation lap. Where tyre strategies will usually differ. There's usually one or two outliers at least. Bold strategies, of course, can make or break a race of this distance. Don't forget, no Baker Plays race this week due to aforementioned England v Holland football match. They're back the following week, where it's back to Australia again. So, good bit of practice in Blobby week 1 for some of the drivers who are in both, as it was 100%er. I'm going to finish all my drink or this extended pause continues. It's been a bit longer than usual. I hope I haven't been thrown out. I have to check somebody else's streams to make sure. There's a lot of the drivers in this league do stream their own races as well. No need, because here we are on the grid for the formation lap. A bit of glitching there, but there we go. And nobody's gone for hard tyres, which is interesting. The front two are on the mediums. Can row 2 get involved with the leaders? Senna and Colin are both on softs. Rows 3 and 4, King Kong and Swanson, Smug and Mr. Pickle all on mediums. Row 5, Syme and TMK both on the softs. Row 6, Sloth and Ruznico, they're on mediums. Row 7, Disagree. Skippy on mediums, Speedy Bullet on the softs. Row 8 are both on softs, Joker and 50 Gent. And row 9, Sainsy and Easy Life are on mediums. With nobody going for the hard tyre. Interesting. We'll have lap data up, I think. So Max leads them through the formation lap, and he's driven off into the distance a bit here. Big gap for me. He's keen to get on with it, but he's going to be sitting on the grid a long time at this rate, and then he's outbraked himself a bit and got some gravel in his tyres. So perhaps not ideal. Here he comes to the front. And he's going to be sitting there a long time while the rest of the field come to a stop. Here comes Craggy and Senna. How many are going to be disqualified for parking then?
Good luck everyone, thumbs up. Medium skin tone.
There's usually a few. But this time, not at all. 5 lights. Out they go and away they go, and Max was slow off the line. Max was slow off the line, and Craggy and Senna are going to go up the inside. Senna looking for it, but Max managed to keep it. And Craggy had a wobble and he's dropped behind Senna and Colin. He now finds back to Colin. Craggy a bit slow off the line and he's dropped to P4. Swanton is up to 5th. Rouge Nico's had a terrible start. He's dropped right to near the back. Side by side there are TMK and Joker. And Joker hangs it out round the outside. Great move by him. And up to P11. He's had a fantastic start. Fantastic start for the Aston Martins. So it's Max from Senna, Colin, Craggy, Swanton, King Kong. Syme up to P7. He's making use of the soft tyres early doors. Mr. Pickle in P8 from Sloth and Smug. Then Joker, TMK. Speedy Bullet 50 Gent, Skippy. Rouge Nico, the big loser on the first lap. With Sainsy and Easy Life at the back of the field. Max the fastest lap. Off the line then, despite having a bit of a slow reaction time. Big lock up there as well from Max. Senna seems to have the pace with him at the moment. And we'll get DRS here. And possibly we'll get the lead here. Senna into the lead. They've got a new race leader, and it is Senna. Now from Max and Colin. Craggy's dropped away a bit. And Swanton, King Kong, Syme, Mr. Pickle. Smug has been overtaken by Joker now. And Joker up into the top 10. He started P15. Good evening to Cam in the chat. He'll be joining us in Singapore shortly. Front 3, as you can see, very close together. Is Max going to go for the move on Senna? Not this time. Good evening to Ollie in the chat. He's also joining us in Singapore shortly. The end of lap 2 then. Senna sets the fastest lap of the race. Is it going to be beaten by anybody in behind? It does not look as if it is. Sloth and Mr. Pickle. And Mr. Pickle's off. Mr. Pickle is off. There he is. He's very off. And he will rejoin in last place. He was battling with Sloth. Don't know quite what happened there. We didn't see it. But Sloth is up to P8 and Joker is now P9. And now Max is going to lose P2 to Colin. So row 2 were right to go for the soft tyres early doors, it seems, as they are now 1 and 2. Max in third. Craggy has dropped quite a way back in fourth. He's pursued by Swanton and King Kong. With Syme right there as well. Sloth, Joker. Then a gap to Smug. Not a huge gap, but TMK, Speedy Bullet, 50 Gent and Skippy are chasing him. And they all come through very close together. Mr. Pickle now at the back, hasn't got to pit, so didn't get any damage. Well, not enough to make him go for an early pit stop. Everybody still going smoothly in terms of no damage. But Ruzhniko lost out on the first lap and Mr. Pickle was off early on in lap 3. Senna still leads from Colin. TMK's making the move on Smug and up into the top 10.
I'm looking forward to Singapore. Been a tough practice earlier, but think I have the setup nailed.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Ollie looking forward to Singapore. Don't forget that is at 10 PM after the conclusion of this race. It will be a new stream. Singapore 50% race after a short quali.
Who's gonna win now then?
Who's going to win now? It's anybody's guess. Colin's going to go for the lead, is he? No, he isn't. But Swanton has passed Craggy. And King Kong's having a look as well. Smug has repassed TMK further back. But Swanton up to P4. Big line of cars in behind him. Craggy getting very, very close to him. We'll stick with this little battle at the moment, even though we won't, because we'll go for Max, who's having a look at Colin round the outside, which then becomes the inside, and a good move by Max World to retake P2. Anybody's guess who wins here, and anybody's guess who wins in Singapore later on as well. We've got a very competitive league for both on Monday nights, which is exactly what we want to see. Could Max now be going back for the lead on Senna? He's going to the outside. Senna can't defend that, and Max retakes the lead. Joker has passed Sloth for P8, and Speedy Bullet got past TMK. Further back, Ruzhniko making a move on Sainsy. So overtakes galore down there. And that back straight with DRS. Max has managed to get a second out, already ahead of Senna now. Maybe the soft tyres life not as long as they'd hoped. Craggy has repassed Swanton. There's got people jockeying for position in behind him, including King Kong, Syme, and now Joker's tagged onto the back of that train. .50 Gent now making a move on TMK, who had Skippy side by side as well. And TMK is dropping down the field quite quickly now. He's lost out a couple of places there in quick succession to 50 and to Skippy. And goes very wide there. Colin, meanwhile, is going for Senna. And has got P2. Sainsy retakes Rouge Nico. Craggy managing to keep Swanton, King Kong, Syme, Joker all behind him still. And Rouge Nico picks up the first penalty of the day. It won't be the last. Track limits at Silverstone. Invites will be 9:45-ish. Should be done here by about quarter past, half past. As Senna retakes Colin and Swanton gets past Craggy.
Okay, thank you, Blog.
No problemo. Where are we going to go here? We're going to watch Colin on the back of Senna. These two have now been dropped by Max, who has now got a 2.5 second lead. As you can see, he is off down the straight. Meanwhile, Colin up the inside of Senna for P2. And Craggy doing the same to Swanton for P4. On the back, it is Speedy Bullet and Smug going through the corner together. And Speedy Bullet manages to take P10. Remarkably clean driving from everyone so far. Joker going side by side with Syme. Trying to find a move. DRS open for all of them, of course. But Joker goes side by side. In front you see Swanton make a move on Craggy. Joker got the move done, and so did Swanton. Joker now up to P7. Craggy closes on Swanton again. King Kong in between. Then it's Joker and Syme from Sloth, who's still with them. Craggy will have another go here, as will Senna in front. Senna up the inside. Colin going for it for a switchback perhaps. Craggy and Swanton doing the same. King Kong, Joker, Syme and Sloth watch on. And we're already on lap 9 of 26. It's flown by. A third of the way through already. Now Max has a 3.5 second lead to Senna, who's been in this battle with Colin, maybe to the detriment of keeping up with Max. Craggy is closing in on the front three now. It still has Swanton, King Kong, Joker, Syme and Sloth, and a DRS train behind him. And a bit wide from Syme, could open the door for Sloth there. Nothing doing on that occasion. We'll follow the front of the battles through Maggots and Beckett's. These are usually where the passes are made down this straight, but Colin is not close enough on this occasion. Craggy is almost within DRS range of Colin now. which will extend this DRS train. And everybody coming through in single file there without an overtake. Smug is in behind Speedy Bullet, along with 50 Gent, Skippy and TMK. Then there's a gap to Sainsy, who's got Rouge Nico with him. Mr. Pickle's not really recovered from his earlier struggles, and Easy Life is well detached at the moment. Colin going for centre again. Craggy is now right in with them. And Swanton, King Kong, Joker. Syme Sloth. Smug back ahead of Speedy into P10. 50, Skippy and TMK right in with them. Joker making a move. Brave place to make a move there, and Joker does it and goes up to P6. Syme having a look now on King Kong. Up the inside. And Kong manages to stay ahead, does he? Into the pit lane. Who's that? That's Syme into the pit lane. Syme into the pits then. And TMK into the pits and Speeding in the pits. So TMK with a 10-second penalty. Into the pits also Mr. Pickle. The first round of pit stops beginning then. Craggy now right on the back of Colin. Could be a move up the inside here. Colin does leave him enough room just. But then he's going to get his elbows out. It's close between the two of them. It's still close between the two of them. And Colin stays ahead, but just. Very close there between the two of them. Colin staying ahead of Craggy. Swanson still there for interest. Joker has dropped back now. Rouge Nico's picked up another penalty. So penalty's not looking good for the Haas team at the moment. Craggy making the move now on Colin, and Swanson's there as well. And Colin's decided to bail and get in the pit lane. And someone else is as well. Senna is in the pit lane, and Colin has a 10-second speeding penalty. And Joker has a 10-second speeding penalty. And they're going to double stack at Aston Martin. This could be really bad for Joker. Speedy Bullet is also in the pits. So both Aston Martins picking up 10-second penalties, and Joker had to wait there behind. So he's going to lose time and places. Sainsy picks up a penalty. He's not yet in the pits. He's chasing Rouge Nico. And they are up to in the top 10 after the pit stops. Syme is going to undercut Joker. And up to P13. Smug had a bit of a problem there and lost out to Rouge Nico and Sainsy, who are side by side. Syme's got a walk. Syme's got a penalty now. The track limits. These two are side by side. Who's going to get through here in front? They're still side by side, and Sainsy makes the move. Easy Life into the pit lane. Sloth is up to fourth. Swanton's looking for second round the outside of Craggy. For P2 goes Swanton. 50 Gent, the only one of the soft runners still out on track, and he is now going into the pit lane. Sainsy and Rouge Nico are side by side again, and again side by side. And who's going to come out better of this one? Wide and off goes Sainsy, and contact, and Sainsy's got over a big bump on the grass, and they're lucky to survive that. Smug almost got took out in the aftermath of that. 50 Gent is exiting the pits. But almost a big accident involving Rouge Nico and Sainsy. Sainsy took the scenic route, shall we say, and then came back on and almost took Smug completely out. I'm not going to bother with that spam comment in the DRS chat. Craggy going for Swanton. There he goes back into P2. Sainsy has picked up another penalty. King Kong passing Sloth for P4. These two teammates last year. Sloth having a look back at it maybe, but not getting anywhere. TMK and Speedy Bullet side by side. And Speedy Bullet gets the better of that one just. Sainsy and Rouge Nico are having a right battle until Rouge Nico is now into the pit lane. This frees Smug, who's now got Senna and Colin behind him. And Senna is looking to get past Smug here. But he's got to be patient. It's a bit bumpy there on the outside. We saw it's even more bumpy on the grass, as Sainsy showed us. Rouge Nico is having a wing change. So that tangle with Sainsy must have caused some damage. Senna has passed Smug. They're all going for it with DRS, including Colin just behind Smug as well. Smug yet to box, of course. And Colin's going to try and dive up his inside. Just the extra grip. Look at that. Look at the extra grip from the newer tyres there. Colin makes the move. Meanwhile, Senna is now trying to get to Sainsy. And Smug's picked up a penalty going wide there. Senna has passed Sainsy. Sloth is back ahead of King Kong, and they both pit. And so does Craggy. So Craggy, Sloth and King Kong all into the pit lane. Swanton goes through to second once again. Skippy is going to go through into third. Craggy's on his way out. Mr. Pickles picks up a penalty. Where is Senna compared to these three? He is past all of them. So Senna and Colin are ahead of Craggy. And up to P4 is Senna, with just the front three left to box. Colin in P5, but does have a 10-second penalty. Then Sainsy ahead of Craggy. Syme, Sloth and Joker. King Kong's down in P11 now, just ahead of his teammate Speedy Bullet. TMK and 50 Gent close by. Not worked out too well for Smug, who's now down in 15th. Just ahead of Mr. Pickle, Rouge Nico and Easy Life. Into the pits comes Swanton. Surely Skippy as well. Yes, indeed. In comes Skippy. And Swanton and Skippy into the pits. This should see Senna and Colin go back up into the podium positions, as Sainsy is also coming in. There you see Senna up to P2, Colin to P3, Craggy P4, Syme P5. Swanton is going to rejoin ahead of his teammate Sloth in P6. Sloth now 7, Joker 8, King Kong 9, TMK 10, Speedy Bullet in P11 from 50 Gent 12, Skippy rejoins in 13 from Smug 14, Mr. Pickle 15, and Sainsy drops all the way to 16. Speedy Bullet back into the top 10, passing TMK. Colin getting close to the back of Senna. This battle continues. Max has gone long and he's still going. And he's got a gap of 27 seconds at the moment. I'm not sure how long the pit stop costs, but it seems that he's got it in control at the moment as he comes towards lapping his teammate Easy Life. TMK and Speedy Bullet having a battle for 10th. And that continues. Craggy, fastest lap of the race. He's on soft tyres to the end. And he will try and reel in Colin and Senna. And keep Max honest should there be any problems with Max's pit stop. All 18 of them still running on lap 17 of 26. No DRS and no safety cars so far. Swanton is catching Syme as Speedy Bullet and TMK go side by side again. And look at 50 Gent trying to get involved behind the two of them. Great racing as Max finally is in the pits, and he did lose some time on that in-lap. So let's see. Senna, Colin and Craggy are coming down the back straight. And Max, I think, should be out well clear of them. As Swanton passes Syme. Max is moving again. Before they hit the straight, he's going to be out in front. Craggy sets the fastest lap of the race. In fact, it's going to be tighter than I thought. But Max does rejoin in the lead just from Senna, Colin and Craggy. So could we have a four-way battle for the win here? Swanton has passed Syme for P5. Craggy's looking for the move here. Bit of weaving going on in defence from Colin there. Craggy will be very eager to get past Colin before Max drives off into the distance. Same goes for trying to pass Senna as well, of course. TMK and Speedy Bullet are at it again. Great little battle with these two. 50 trying to hang on to pick up the pieces. As Sainsy passes Mr. Pickle. Down in P15, TMK's picked up a penalty now, and Speedy Bullet has lost out to 50 Gent there. So can 50 now come into the top three as Craggy finally gets the move on Colin. Max is already out of DRS range as Craggy tries to chase down Senna. On the bumps there is Craggy. Colin's not giving up on it at all. And wide goes Senna. Senna pushed wide, but then cuts back across. And that's going to cost Craggy the place. Back for Colin, who now might try and take Senna as well. They're going to go three wide. Three wide, and Senna's lost the place to both of them and come in between them. And a big crash. Senna's broken his front wing, I'm sure. Maybe it was a piece of Colin's car as well. Or Craggy, I'm not sure. Craggy's got a broken front wing. Craggy definitely has a broken wing. And so does Senna. So damage to both of them there. A yellow in Sector 2 is for a Haas. And that's TMK who's gone off. TMK has gone off. So 50 Gent is now into the top 10. Sloth continues to try and chase King Kong, and he's going to make the move for P7. These two former teammates having a good battle today. Into the pits comes Senna. Max sets the fastest lap of the race. Craggy has continued. So no pit stop for Craggy. He's going to continue to try and battle Colin. Max has got incredible pace and has just driven away by 5 seconds as all this was happening. A second pit stop for Senna. And damage. That's going to cost him a chance at a podium. He'll now come out on soft tyres and try and salvage a point. Craggy has passed Colin now for P2. But with a broken front wing, can Colin keep up with him? Colin looking for the move straight away. He's going to stick a wheel up the inside at Cox. No, he isn't. Swanson trying to catch this battle. He's on for a podium with Colin's penalty. And Syme, Sloth, King Kong. Joker in P8. Also has got a 10-second penalty. 50 Gent looking good in 9th. Speedy Bullet back into the top 10 now. Senna came back out in 17th. So it just goes to show how close-knit this field is. That one mistake and one pit stop takes you from the podium all the way to P17. Unfortunate for him. 3 wide down there was never going to go too well. Max seems to have things under control at the moment, but we've seen in DRS many times that be said and then it not to turn out that way. Craggy is in P2, chased by Colin and Swanton. Into the pits comes Mr. Pickle, who's not had a great day. He's going to go for soft tyres. He had a free pit stop anyway in terms of being far enough ahead of Easy Life, who has really struggled for pace today. King Kong trying to stick to the back of Sloth. Skippy closing in on TMK. No penalties for Skippy, so he could climb a little. That looks like the outside. Time for King Kong this time. Is he going to get it round? Yes, he is. Lovely move by King Kong, and he retakes the position from Sloth. Colin could be in danger now as Joker pits again. So Joker's going to serve his 10-second penalty. More good news for 50 Gent, who's up to 8th now. Colin, Swanton and Joker and Craggy battling it out for second. Senna up a couple of places ahead of Joker and Mr. Pickle now after they pit. But he's got a way to go to get back in the points. Skippy and Smug are closing in on TMK. And Skippy goes up the inside. Smug's in there as well. Senna passes Rouge Nico just behind these. And he'll be looking to try and get after them. Has he got the pace to try and get back in the points in this final few laps? TMK at the moment keeping Skippy and Smug at bay. Speedy Bullet picks up a penalty. I will take you to the penalties shortly as we near the end of the race. Smug going for the inside on Skippy. Nice clean move by Smug, and he is up to P11, and he'll now try and get TMK and get up into the points. And off goes TMK! Big spin from TMK! And that's cost him the top 10. Senna sets the fastest lap of the race. He's up to 12th now. Off went TMK. Look at Swanton all over the back of Colin. I'll put the penalties up now for you. 10 seconds for Colin. 13 for TMK. 12 for Rouge Nico. So big penalties at Haas. 9 for Sainsey. 6 for Mr. Pickle. 3 for Syme, Speedy and Smug. So at the moment, Skippy and Senna looking like they're going to get in the points. Potentially. Side by side again, King Kong and Sloth. Max sets the fastest lap of the race. Still side by side, Sloth and King Kong. And King Kong gets the better of that one. 3 laps remain. Max is on for a Max. Maximum points. He's lapped Easy Life, his teammate, and he's on his way to the victory and the fastest lap. The King of the Road treble, along with the pole position earlier on. Big gap back to Craggy, who's got Colin and Swanton all over the back of him. Senna passes Skippy now. Sloth and King Kong still battling. Senna's going to try and find a way past Smug. Craggy finally has lost out, and he's lost both positions. Colin and Swanton go past. Of course, Swanton and Craggy will get the podium thanks to Colin's penalty. No matter how this battle ends, unless somebody goes off, of course. Senna is back into the top 10 ahead of Smug. And he's now within 3 seconds of Speedy Bullet as well, in order to try and gain another place. Penultimate lap then. And Colin might finish P2 on the road as they all come to lap Easy Life. The penalty is going to cost him, because we have ghosting on this league, so don't worry about Easy Life getting in the way. Colin still stays ahead of Swanton and Craggy. Syme is going to lose out a couple of places with this 3-second penalty to Sloth and King Kong, who are battling hard. Swanton now makes the move for P2. Swanton up to P2 ahead of Colin. Easy Life picks up another penalty there in the background. A first penalty for him. Apologies. And now they're going to go 3 wide again. Colin and Craggy have passed Swanton there. As Max starts the final lap of the race. Swanton and Craggy battling for this podium with Colin, who's going to drop down. And Colin's in fact going to drop down quite a lot. because Syme's only 4 seconds back. Sloth King Kong as well. So Colin could drop as low as P7 here. Off again is TMK. TMK off once again. Max on his way to victory. Let's keep an eye on the 3 behind though, because it's a big battle. Colin's penalty is really going to cost him. Pit lane, an extra slow one at Silverstone, and it's just caught him out. Now, who's going to go where this time? Craggy goes outside. Colin almost touches him. Maxwell wins at Silverstone, but who's going to come second? It looks like Craggy. Swanton went for a big dive right at the end, but Craggy comes home for second. Swanton will take third. Syme will jump ahead of Colin, as will Sloth and King Kong. So Sloth takes P4. 3 and 4 for Ferrari. Sloth takes the Pro-Am victory. King Kong in P5 from Syme. Colin 50 gent, a good P8 for him. Senna comes home in P9, and the last place is going to be for Skippy, who takes P10 on penalties ahead of Smug and Speedy. Next home is Sainsy from Rouge Nico, who's going to be jumped by Joker on penalties. Then it'll be TMK, and Mr. Pickle has got to try and get within 7 seconds of him. I don't know why TMK is going into the pits. So he will be jumped by Mr. Pickle then, because I'm sure that's not a quicker way to the finish line. Or is it? Did Mr. Pickle in fact jump TMK, or was that a shortcut to the finish? Interesting. We will check that. $50 gent, the driver of the day, according to the game. Maxwell, your winner, king of the road treble, fastest lap, the pole position and the race victory. Superb stuff from Max. Well done's in the chat from Bazza and from Magnatex. Craggy took P2 in the end in an epic battle. Swanton on the podium in P3. Sloth takes the Pro-Am win in P4. King Kong was P5 for Alpine. Then Syme in P6. Colin dropped to P7 with that penalty. 50 gent in P8 with a podium on the Pro-Am, and then the Williams pairing of Senna, who was unlucky, and Skippy in P10 scoring a point ahead of Smug, Speedy Bullet, Sainsy, Joker. Rouge Nico, Mr. Pickle did jump TMK on penalty, and Easy Life finished a lap down. All 18 finished, no safety cars, no DNFs. This is DRS racing at its finest. Cracking battles, a couple of incidents, but no DNFs. Well done, everybody. I will be back in about 45 minutes' time. For those Blobby Monday racers who are watching, the lobby opens in half an hour. Blobby Mondays goes to Singapore, 10 p.m, 45 minutes time. Lobby opens 9:45. This was DRS Week 1, Season 9. Thanks for watching. Max Weld is your winner in the Kick Sauber. Good night.